What's up, friends? Welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, a little social commentary here and there, whatever the day calls for. I've said that so many times at this point that I forgot to add that I also do reactions now. So, yeah, I do those too. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here, I will subscribe to you as well. I'm all about supporting up-and-comers on here. Um, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. First new State Champs album since 2018 is here, finally. Kings of the New Age. It's just released today. Um, I pre-ordered this album in March. On their Facebook a couple times when they would post stuff, I would keep asking, can you send out some of these early? I think after a couple of them, yeah, one of them actually, they actually responded to me and were like, we would if we could. So I was very surprised to get my copy on Wednesday. So I've already had time to digest this thing and enjoy it and get something together for a little bit of an album review. So let's get into this. I'm going to go track by track like I always do. Then we'll summarize how it is at the end. I'll compare it to their past work, which I'm very familiar with, and just analyze it in general. Yeah, because I am a huge fan of these guys. This band and the story so far are like my two favorite bands in this genre because I just feel like they're just so much more thoughtful and just like professional in their sound and more mature in their sound than a lot of their peers. I would love to hear a track where Parker from the story so far and Derek from State Champs do a vocal thing together because they I consider them both to be the top tier vocalists here, but kind of for opposite reasons. Parker is more of an uh, aggressive, sometimes angry sounding, always super passionate. And he just almost kind of seems like, even though he's singing, he's just kind of yelling it to you at times. And, he's the more abrasive side, whereas Derek's the super smooth, chill, croony, super polished kind of vocalist with lots of soulfulness and just crazy vocal chops. He's like the sweet to Parker's sour, the honey to his vinegar. I hope somebody watches Always Sunny that's watching so they get that reference. But yeah, I'm done blabbing. Let's get into this. The opener is Here to Stay. It's a nice catchy introduction and a declaration that it's been a while, but the champs are back. There has been some commentary I've seen online, and also even from him, I think, from Derek himself, where he was not taking care of his voice or something, or he wasn't happy with the way he sounded. I mean, I've never seen this band live, so if he has some of these weaker vocal performances live, I mean, if he's talking about anything he's done on any of the albums, I mean, you could have fooled me, man. His voice has always been top notch. I practice to Derek more than probably anybody else, and his voice sounds on point here. And it fits in with the other openers nicely of their past work. Out of all their openers, I still kind of like Elevated the best, but this one, it's here to open up this thing and show you what's going to be coming. Number 2 is Eventually. We've heard this one already. I reviewed it already. When I first heard this one, I thought it was a little bit on the filler side. I liked it, but it was a little bit more of a grower, and in the time since then, it has grown on me. I might have given it an 8 or something at the time, and it's definitely grown on me. The hook is really nice, and it's definitely a good one. And number 3, Everybody But You, is another one we heard already. And I also reviewed this one. There are some vocal features in this album, and out of all of them, this one here from Ben Barlow from Neck Deep, when I first heard it, I didn't like it at all. I thought it kind of sounded really juvenile, what he was doing. It was very jarring in the context of the song compared to Derek's vocals. it sounded like it was auto-tuned to hell and back. I just found that to be like kind of the downside of that song. And after some time has gone by, I can't really say my view on that has changed. But the rest of the track is pretty good. The message in the song is good. It's just about a toxic girl where nothing you do is good enough for her, and you know it's just about if that's not going to go anywhere, the best thing to do is just kind of leave that behind and just throw a party with all your buddies and invite everybody but her, metaphorically. Just from personal experience, I can say, if you instead chose not to throw a party and invite everybody but her, and instead, just because you really liked her a lot, because feelings are a weird thing, they're an annoying thing, they're a pain in the ass, and you decide to like give in to all her complaints and try to just be everything that she wants, even though that's not possible, she's still gonna, if you don't leave, she's gonna leave at some point. And she's gonna leave for the biggest loser and those kind of people cannot be pleased. So you always got to think with your mind first and your heart second, possibly maybe even third. The song says, just kind of, because you're gonna look back on a lot of wasted time if you don't. That's all I can really say. Is it's a good message. You would kind of think that once you hit your 30s, these types of juvenile behaviors and attractions would kind of stop, but they do not. To these kind of people, high school just never ends. So throw a party, invite everybody but her. It's a good song. It is. And number 4, it seems like we're getting a lot of songs we heard before in a big chunk here. And out of my head, this one was released a while ago. Derek's vocals on this song are so good. The hook is really, really good. This is definitely a top track. And, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because we've all heard it already. And it's great. So now we're back to some ones we haven't heard yet. Number 5, Fake It. This is just another earworm of a song. A never-ending flex of Derek's vocal chops. This one really puts the pop in the pop punk. It's catchy as can be. Okay, number 6, Half Empty, featuring Chrissy Constant. Did I spell it right? Constanza. Yeah. At first, it seems like we're going to be slowing down here because the way it starts kind of with a little bit of a balladish feel, but not really. Like the tempo, it's still pretty up-tempo, but it's definitely like a pull at the heartstrings kind of song. It has a ballad feel, even though it's not slow. The guest vocalist here, Chrissy, she has a very attractive, cute, pleasant voice to listen to. In fact, she's just pretty dang cute in general. And she does a great job here. And this song sounds very full, like, especially once you, at the end where you hear him and her singing together and just like all these like other arrangements in the background, you can really hear like the production on this album is just top notch. If you're listening to it with headphones, you can really listen and hear all kinds of subtle little details, and just it adds to the collection of earworms we're getting here. The lyrics aren't anything you haven't heard before. Same with Fake It. But this is a great song too. This album, the first half of this album is off to a great start. Number 7, Just Sound. This is another one that we've heard already. So instead of spending too much time talking about it, I'm just going to do a shameless self-plug and say I have covered this song on the channel, vocals and guitar. And even though we got a whole new collection of songs here, this is still my favorite one, hands down. The riff is just so fun to play. The hook is perfect. Just everything about this is cool. It had a nice funny video to go with it. And I noticed for this album, and kudos to them for doing this, they completely re-recorded it and gave it a new kind of feel with this whole super big arena kind of production they're going for on this thing. You could definitely tell that they re-recorded it and didn't just take the lazy way out and just throw the track that they had on this record. So I do like this re-record version of it. It sounds really good. All right. Number 8, Act Like That, featuring Mitchell Tenpenny. I've never actually heard of this guy, but I looked him up. He's kind of like a country rock singer. And this one is a little bit too far into the pop realm for me personally. The chorus kind of bores me. This whole song is just really, really squeaky clean and harmless. I don't hate it, but this is the first song that didn't do a whole lot for me. The guest vocalist, I'm not a country fan at all, and this guy doesn't sound like super country, but what he's doing is good. It just doesn't really do anything for me personally, but I wouldn't say stay away from this because you may have different taste than me. This isn't bad. It's just not my cup of tea. Country is easily my least favorite kind of music, but even in some of their older songs, some of the slower ones, you can hear just like tinges of that influence in them. Like, somebody in this band likes country. I'm putting money on it. You know, it's a nice change of pace, but I definitely don't find it to be a top track. So, number 9, Where Were You? This one picks the pace back up, and it's pretty good, but it's a little fillerish. It's a bit formulaic at this point. Like, you definitely know at this point you're getting Derek flexing his vocal chops in the verse, and everything is just leading up to the hook. Like, it's all about the hooks all the time on this. The lyrics are kind of predictable. Nothing really special, but it's not too bad, you know. I'm not speaking negatively of it, but it's just kind of there. But I won't skip it on the album. I don't really hear anything on here I would skip if I was listening to this in full. Sundress featuring 4 Year Strong. Now, since it just says 4 Year Strong, I'm going to assume, and I thought I heard both of the 4 Year Strong vocalists in this song. This is a nice feel-good track. I thought this one would have been more upbeat and guitar-driven with 4 Year Strong being here. I don't know if they have guitar parts on this or just singing, but when they come in, it's a great feature. You know it's coming. But their sound wasn't really injected to this too much, just their vocals. I was hoping for a little bit of that rise or die trying style. And if you have not heard that album by 4 Year Strong, it's definitely the best one. It is just crazy how much those two vocalists do all this shreddy shit and sing and harmonize, and like that album, Rise or Die Trying from 4 Year Strong. I mean, it sounds like a shreddy pop punk band just drank a case of Red Bull. It is just so high energy. You know, that didn't happen here, but it's still a good song, still a good feature, and I like it. It's solid. So now we're at the closer. Some Minds Don't Change. It's a nice way to wrap it up. It's one of the album's most infectious hooks. Some nice focus on guitar in the bridge. It basically sums up everything we've heard here in a great way. I've never been blown away by closing tracks on State Champs albums, but this one was pretty good. This album's pretty quick listen. I think it's 35 minutes. I'll just say, if somebody who doesn't know who these guys are is just browsing through their local Target or whatever place is left that still sells CDs, and they see the new State Champs album for PlayStation 1 right here, and they think they're going to get an album of skate punk, they're going to be disappointed, because this is so squeaky clean production-wise. They definitely put the pop in the pop punk, but they always kind of have, you know. I was not expecting like aggressive speed punk or anything in this. But I think some of the older State Champs albums were kind of front-loaded, like Living Proof, Around the World and Back. They have like great tracks. I feel like this, but it's like after you get to track 6 or 7, it kind of tapers off into like some sameness. And the length of this album really helped it, because, you know, they are just kind of doing one or two things, but they do them really well. They did a great job here. This was definitely worth the wait. If you liked Living Proof, you should definitely like this. If I was going to compare this to any of their other albums, maybe. I mean, Living Proof had more slow moments, like slow songs. There's not really any actual slow songs on this. They're just really, really poppy. Really, really poppy. This might be the poppiest album they've ever done. But they do it well. What you love about the band is here, and and I like it, and I'm going to listen to this a bunch of times to come. My first instinct is to give this thing an 8 out of 10, but with catchy albums like this, and it having only been available to me for 2 days, and to the rest of like the people who didn't pre-order, they're just buying it today, you know. Some of these songs need to grow a bit, you know. It's too soon to really just not give the ones that I wasn't wowed about here any time to grow. So I'm going to 8.5 it, you know. 8.5 out of 10. It's a very nice addition to their discography. So before this gets any longer, I'm going to wrap it up here. So get this album, don't sleep on it, and thanks for watching.